That's a funny way to come into the show. What was that?
That's me. If I hear a noise on my computer, if I don't shut it down, so I've got to shut it down. Anyway,
It's great to lay some context, right? Maybe it's the drink talking. I don't know. Like,
always the drink talking.
oh shit. Hi Chloe. We haven't discussed how we're going to come into this episode. I think that was a very good way to do it. Do you want to take the lead?
Absolutely. Shall I say hello and good evening to all of our friends that are joining us on YouTube, TikTok, wherever they're finding us these days? Glenn and I host this little vodcast, as we like to call it, on a Wednesday called Up Late with Glenn and Chloe, which is a wonderful little spin off of our, Good Movie Monday podcast that comes out on a Monday. So you should definitely go check us all out wherever you can find us, especially on Newsly.
Well done. Only thing is that this is not on Newsly.
Not yet.
Not yet. It will be next year. Best place for everybody to find us, particularly if you're new, because we've got a whole lot of new followers, particularly on TikTok. I think that's where you and I seem to be getting the most love from.
Where we make our moves.
Goodmoviemonday.com. Go there and it takes you to wherever you need to go, whether it's, Facebook, YouTube, whatever platform you get your podcast from.
How exciting. Go do it.
Go do it. All right.
Go do it.
Let's do it. I've hit the timer this time.
No.
Wonders will never cease.
Wow. And I had technical issues. So, the first for everything today.
Which explains the whole.
Just for our listeners and watchers at home, I always have technical issues every week. There's always something. Nothing is going right ever.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
We're learning every week.
Yeah, exactly. And what is this show without it? Like, it's part of the fun for me.
Is it part of the fun for you?
Yeah.
I'm glad it's fun for you. It's me sitting here stressing, going, oh my God.
Hey, Chloe, are we recording?
Don't do that.
Better now than at the end. Hey,
yeah, that's true.
You've got some news for us. Very important news.
Some important news. If it's what we were talking about the other day, is that what? Yeah, okay. I finally got to introduce my oldest son to my all-time favorite movie ever, and it was magical. I gave him the choice. I wanted to have a movie night. His dad was away at a friend's birthday, and I wanted to give him the choice of watching a movie with me. I gave him the choice of Sandlot Kids or Goonies. And he goes, what's Goonies? And I said, well, it's Mummy's favorite movie, and it's got pirates and adventure and maps. And I knew I'd get him at Treasure because buried treasure for a 6-year-old is the be all and end all. And all in all, I think he didn't give me much, but I think he really enjoyed it. He did get scared at sloth. I think he's a bit too young for sloth. And he got really embarrassed at all the kissing. He didn't like all the
kissing. No, I don't think he is too young for sloth at all. I think he's the perfect age for it, and I think he's supposed to get that little bit frightened. He's supposed to be that little bit embarrassed. It's the reactions that they want the kids to have.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about you when all this stuff was happening, going, no, I don't think it's too much. It's just not something that he's particularly used to. So I'm happy to get him used to that.
And if anything,
it's harmless.
If anything, from a parental point of view, and this is just, once again, the shift of time with generations, it's the first 5 minutes and how many S-bombs are dropped.
Oh, throughout the whole movie. And I swear I caught an F-bomb in there this time as well.
Really?
I'm almost 100% sure I caught an F-bomb.
Well, don't tell me where. I'm going to watch it soon and see if I can pick up on that, because I've never picked up on that. But I have, from an adult parent perspective, when my kids were sort of introduced to it, 10 years ago, or even further back, I just remember, fucking hell, the amount of shits that are in this movie. And it doesn't bother me, and it didn't bother me that my kids watched that, but there are a lot of people that are precious about such things, and I just thought, fuck, they load the kids' movies with that stuff back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. And I did think about that as well because, in my line of work, I do swear a lot, and I find it hard to switch off. And my kids have caught on to that as well, so they have been bringing that around with them.
Yeah.
So then watching a movie full of S bombs, definitely, I feel like almost gave him license to
to
but carry it on.
We've got a filthy household as well. Like we are pretty rotten with the way we talk around here. But I think shit is such a fun word, even when you're a kid. I don't think it's going too far.
To use it in context as well, which I kind of do let slide if I do hear it in the background. It's when they try to egg me on with it. That's when it gets a little bit.
That's when you got to be mum. Awesome. So, he enjoyed it. Like he did not like it.
He did not like it. He sat there for the full 2 hours. He watched it with me. He got to a part where Sloth was around. He's like, I don't want to watch this anymore, Mum. It's too scary for me. And I said, nah, mate, it's all right. He's the good guy.
Yeah, he's friendly.
And then he kind of, he leaned into it more. So it just gave me a little bit of a tear, and it made me kind of watch it in a different light as well, more through his eyes.
What about how did he respond to Data?
Loved Data.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff.
Grabbing onto Francis's nutsack was probably his favorite, and he did enjoy Mama Fratelli slapping the shit out of her kids as well.
That is such a Three Stooges thing that she does there. And in many ways, the Fratelli brothers are the Three Stooges.
For sure.
And like, because you posted on Facebook that you were doing this. It was a photo. I've avoided that post since because I didn't want the comments. I didn't want you to reveal to me how he reacted in those comments. So I've avoided them. But I did ask you, I suggested that he might laugh his ass off when he does that flip on the log and hits his nuts. Was that a moment?
No.
Fuck.
No. But do you know what else is also disappointing? Truffle Shuffle didn't even faze him. Truffle Shuffle did nothing.
That's because kids are so woke today, and that's just insensitive.
This is what I was doing, right? The thing where you're like, a moment's coming up and you're like, reaction. Truffle Shuffle, nothing. I'm going to tell you the glove from Data's chest coming out and hitting that guy, pissed himself laughing. The pinches of power grabbing onto his nuts, pissed himself laughing, and Mama Fratelli slapping the shit out of her kids.
What about the
So he's a violent child.
Okay. Yeah, what about he's a boy. What about the dick being glued upside down?
Yeah, he did have a giggle at that as
well. Excellent. That's fantastic.
Typical
well, anyway,
male.
no, such good stuff. I could talk about that all night, but we won't. We're already like,
Shall we move on to the other movie that I watched? A new movie?
Yes. What?
Shock horror. I didn't tell you this because I wanted this reaction. I watched a brand new, it's a remake of a book. All Quiet on the Western Front.
You did watch it. You told me you were going to be watching it, and it looks fantastic. It's had great reviews.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's
just beautiful. I'm not even going to use the word brilliant because that just doesn't seem like it does enough.
You just replaced it with beautiful. It's wonderful.
Wonderful. I can't describe it. You'll have to watch it. It's just wonderful.
I have it there to watch. It's definitely on my radar. It's on my list to watch. I just haven't had time to scratch my own nuts at the moment. So,
well, you should do that because that'll make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's true. Cool. I'm glad you liked it. I'll report back as soon as I see it. It looks amazing. The feedback's been incredible. So, yeah, cool. And
I have no doubt.
A lot of film people I know that are really, almost film historians. They've said that it's better than the original. So.
Yeah, I have not seen the original, and I think I might keep it pure as to watching it just this one for a little while because I did enjoy it so much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the storyline. It got me in all the right places. Loved it.
Well, one of the movies I saw was Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2.
I knew this was coming.
It's fucking awful. Really bad. It was exactly what I thought it would be. It was just terrible. I sincerely think that any praise that it gets is insincere. I just think that's the same as the first movie. I think there's a lot of people it's cool to like this because it's, of the time. But as far as being a superhero comic book movie, it's fucking awful. Like it is, it's a cross between Black Panther, what else? Aquaman and Avatar. Just throw that all together because it's essentially about a race of, they're not people, but creatures they live in like an Atlantis type of city. So they're you know how the Wakandans were like a hidden society?
Right.
Now there's this other hidden society, which is in the comic book. So like I give it that, but it's just done so poorly. They come out of the water and they're blue, just like Na'vi, or just like, and they look like the Aquaman characters, and the leader of this fucking society has wings on his ankles, right? And yeah, that works on a comic book page, right? That, but in film on a big screen, little tiny fucking flappers on your toes, it looks dumb. And yeah, that's all it needs to be said. I just thought it was horrible.
And is it true that none of the other sort of Marvel superheroes made an appearance at all?
Yeah, it's a standalone. Like, this is definitely isolated from the MCU.
Okay.
And I think that Marvel probably feel themselves in a bit of strife at the moment because I think they've run out of steam with the MCU. I think the audience is starting to get a bit of fatigue with the MCU. And I also think that by not connecting it in any way, and I will confess, I don't stay around for the end credits on these things because I just don't give a shit about that, right? So it may have had a tie-in at the end. But yeah, I think the fact they've ignored the rest of the MCU says a lot. You know, that there's nowhere for them to go. Whatever the case, it was pretty horrible.
Do you feel like they're tying up that series? Like they're not going to be continuing with it anytime soon? Or do you think that they still will try and...
I think they feel that Black Panther is their saving grace. I think that it is part of a cultural movement in their eyes.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what they might feel is relevant. I don't feel that movement really has much traction anymore. I don't think it's there necessarily, but it's also the kind of movie that people that were on that bandwagon to begin with don't want to criticize this because it would sort of look bad. That's my opinion.
And how did they handle the Chadwick Boseman not coming back, obviously?
He's dead from the get-go, right? So the king is dead. So this is okay. So I mean, if there's any weight to this story, which there's not, the weight is that it's the society trying to grieve the king's death. How do you move forward without not only the king but without Black Panther? And so you got Angela Bassett's character, who is the mother. She's aging, so she can't protect her city anymore the way she used to. And you've got this new enemy, being the whatever the fuck this sea fucking society's called. I can't remember. They're the new threat. So rather than having the Americans as a threat, this is the sea people as the threat. So it's a whole, it's the same movie, just done without Black Panther and without the Americans. And when the Americans are in it for like the micro amount of time, you got Marty Friedman comes back and who else? Some other American chick, I can't remember, but yeah, they're in it for like 10 minutes. And
he's very American. Or does he play an American?
He's an American, like a CIA agent, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's very tokenistic. He's only in it for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Anyway, I've spoken way more about that than I should have.
Well, I'm glad we cleared it up. I knew you went to go see it. I knew you were dreading it, so I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah, I did read though, and this is a little bit like television-ish, but I did read that Disney Plus are looking at doing an Indiana Jones series, TV series.
Yeah, I saw something like that too, which would be interesting.
Look, yeah, I mean, it's been done before. They've done the Young Indiana Jones series, which is a fantastic television show from the 90s that was spun off from Last Crusade when River Phoenix played Young Indy. And that's a great series. It was axed after 3 seasons when it was supposed to actually go for about 5 or 6 seasons. And George Lucas was going to connect the Young Indy series all the way to Temple of Doom, which was the first indie movie adventure because it was a prequel to Raiders. But it got axed and you never got to do that. So I don't know what an Indiana Jones series for Disney Plus would look like, whether it's another Young Indy to complete that or whether it's just new Indiana Jones adventures. I don't know. I think they might end up doing movies and TV. I think it might be 2 different entities because why would you stop making movies? Indiana Jones are just great serial movies.
Yeah, but Harrison Ford is getting
this is his last one. They've admitted that, but they also said that once this string of Indiana Jones movies is complete, because right from the start in the late 70s, early 80s, Indiana Jones was intended to be 5 movies, right? So they're completing the cycle. then you recast and you go back to like a 30-year-old Indiana Jones and you start again and make it a serial type of thing, like James Bond. Every 5 to 10 movies they swap character or swap
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see that. And I'd go for a TV series as well. I find myself sometimes drifting towards series rather than feature films sometimes. So I feel like I could spread it out quite nicely.
It could, but the only problem I have with Disney Plus doing that is that I don't think they've got a great track record with the Star Wars series they've been doing. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Mandalorian was okay. I haven't really enjoyed the others. I haven't pursued them beyond maybe 3 or 4 episodes each. And so I just hope if they do an Indiana Jones one, it's just not that, I just want films. I just want movies.
Opposite. I've heard the opposite. I've heard a lot of people praising the new sort of Star Wars series. So I feel like if they put as much sort of effort and passion, well, I've heard from full Star Wars fans that they really enjoy it. So I feel like if they put the full effort and passion into it, then we
revolve
really
in completely opposite circles then, because like I've got the Star Wars fans as well that are saying, nah, this is fucking shit.
Really?
So everyone was on board for Mandalorian, but then like the new Andor, I think it's called, that one people are hating upon, whatever the one between them was.
I will only watch that because of Diego Luna. That is the only reason I will watch that.
I think his movie, Rogue One, was actually probably the best Star Wars movie outside of the 3 originals.
Of course, because anything he does is amazing.
As a Star Wars movie, I just think that was probably the only really, really legitimately good one. Anyway, we've gone beyond the halfway point. Let's just turn this into a game show.
Game show. Booty boo boo boo.
Okay.
From that? Okay, yep.
Where do you want to go with this one? What I have got prepared, I've got taglines, I have got trivia questions, I've got movie opposites, and I've got 2 would you rathers and a bunch of true or false. So I've got
all right.
Dax.
Well, what I've got a new sort of game.
Say what?
I've got a new sort of game, which is kind of like the true or false. I also have would you rathers and I have badly explained plot lines. So it looks like we're going to have a bit of a mixed bag this week again. But my new game is kind of like true or false. However, I'm going to shoot the question at you, and literally the first thing that pops into your head, you're going to say it.
Okay.
I don't care if it's wrong or right. I want to hear the first thing that comes out of your mouth.
Usually when people play this game, they just throw a word out there and then that's the first word that people think of. But this is interesting. Let's give it a crack.
This could be a total failure. It could be, but I'm quite interested to test it out. So shall we test it?
Okay, so I just have to blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind, whether it's movie related or not. Just the first fucking thing in my head.
First thing that comes out of your mind. All right. Out of your yeah. All right, ready? Which country does Forrest Gump travel to for ping pong?
China.
Wayne's World, The Outsiders, and Tommy Boy all feature who?
Chris Farley.
What is the name of the fictional country that is the backdrop for the movie?
The movie what?
Frozen.
Oh fuck! I don't know. Don't watch Frozen.
First thing that comes to your brain.
Antarctica.
There we go. How old was Stockard Channing when she played Rizzo in Grease?
32.
Apart from Arnie, who was in talks to play the Terminator?
Michael Bain.
Wet Hot American Summer is Bradley Cooper's first feature film. True or false?
True.
Who plays the convenience store clerk at the start of the movie Juno?
No idea. Fucking. I'm going to say Kevin Smith because of the word clerks.
How many movies did Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers star in?
6. No, 3, but I'll go with 6. It's my first. I don't like this game.
I'm thinking that like a half fail, half win. Half fail, half win. Okay, so yeah, China was right for Forrest Gump. You did that right.
Can I just say, Rob Lowe? Okay, can I just say, that's not what I was expecting it to be. No, like I didn't know you were actually looking for real answers and just hoping like I could pluck them as the first thing. Like
I just wanted to know what the first thing in your brain would be as soon as I asked you these questions. Sure,
and my brain does not work that way. Like I like to, like in life, I contemplate before I answer. So goes against my nature. So what was the question with the Rob Lowe one?
Wayne's World, Outsiders, and Tommy Boy all feature who?
Okay,
What did you say?
I said
Gustali.
Chris Farley.
Oh, I thought you said Gustali. I'm like, I wonder who Gustali is.
Jesus Christ.
Arundel is the fictional country.
Wouldn't know that.
You were close because Stockard Channing was 33.
Yeah, I knew she was early 30s. I just didn't know. Yeah.
Fuck, she looked good.
Yeah.
She looked real good. OJ Simpson was in talks to be the Terminator. That could have turned out badly.
No, I did know that. But yeah, but back then he was a good guy. He was an action star. He was a footy player, and yeah. If he'd taken the role, if he'd taken the role, he might not have ended up being a murderer.
Well, who knows?
That's right.
I think he still would have been.
Might all be Arnold Schwarzenegger's fault.
Yeah, let's blame Arnie.
Yep.
It was Rainn Wilson, not Kevin Smith, but yeah, I get what you're thinking there. And Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire starred in 10 movies together.
10. So I was closer on my first answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
That kind of worked. I'm gonna tweak that for next time.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I like that you threw that at me, and you gave me a little bit of prep time because you kind of suggested earlier on before we recorded that you were going to do it, but I would have loved to have gotten my head around the concept first. And
nah, that's no fun.
Okay. So let's do some true or false.
Okay.
I'm going to get a pen so I can just write down what you've answered because I'll forget as we go through. All right. Okie dokie. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
True or false? Romy and Michelle's high school reunion has a prequel called Romy and Michelle: The Beginning.
True.
Charlie Sheen and Clint Eastwood starred in a buddy cop movie called The Rookie.
False.
The song She's Like the Wind from Dirty Dancing was sung by Patrick Swayze.
True.
Mandy Moore is the niece of Demi Moore.
False.
Flirtin', starring Nicole Kidman, is the sequel to Careful He Might Hear You.
Oh, never heard of it. True.
Kevin Costner is a singer in a band called Kevin Costner and the Modern West.
True. God, I hope that's true.
There are 6 feature-length installments in the National Lampoon's Vacation series.
6 feature-length
installments in the National Lampoon's Vacation series.
False. All
right, that's it. So, how did we go?
Wrong.
We did 7 questions. You got 4 right.
Hey, that's not bad.
So, Romy and Michelle's high school reunion does have a prequel called Romy and Michelle: The Beginning. It's got Katherine Heigl in it.
Oh, I'm not watching it
then. Charlie Sheen and Clint Eastwood starred in a buddy cop movie called The Rookie. That's true.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a great one. And Clint Eastwood directed that one. She's Like the Wind. Of course, that's Patrick Swayze. You know that one. What are we up to? Mandy Moore is the niece of Demi Moore. No, she's not.
No way. I follow Mandy Moore on Instagram. I'd know.
So Flirtin', starring Nicole Kidman, is not the sequel to Careful He Might Hear You. It's the sequel to The Year My Voice Broke. Okay.
I have no idea about any of those, so that was a hit and swing a miss.
2 amazing films were supposed to be trilogy, never came to fruition, but the first one had Ben Mendelsohn and Noah Taylor, and Noah Taylor reprises his role in Flirtin', and Nicole Kidman and Thandie Newton and Naomi Watts and a few others are in the sequel. You would love the sequel. You'd love both of them.
You say Thandie Newton?
Yeah.
We've had this discussion. Isn't it Thandie Newton?
She changes her mind.
Does she?
Yeah.
I reckon we've had this discussion before.
Do you?
Yeah. Anyway, Carry on.
Yeah, I don't like her either way, so I don't prefer to call her anything. Kevin Costner is the lead singer in a band called Kevin Costner and the Modern West.
How good is that?
Lots of live performances on YouTube that you can look at. And there are 6 feature-length installments in the National Lampoon's Vacation series.
I thought there was only like 4.
So of the Chevy Chase series, you had Vacation, European Vacation, Christmas Vacation,
Christmas. Yep.
Vegas, and then Vegas Vacation.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then you had Christmas Vacation 2, which was like a spin-off with cousin Eddie as the lead character.
Oh, okay.
It's really shit. And then you had the new Vacation with, Chris Hemsworth, Ed Helms, which is a direct sequel to the originals.
See, I was only just thinking Chevy Chase one. So
yeah, well,
in those terms, I would be correct.
Chevy Chase is in the new one, in the Vacation one with Ed Helms.
Must have just blocked that out.
Maybe that's the whole thing, is they're going on a road trip to Wally World and they stop in to visit Grandpa Clark.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. And of course, they did a short film as well called Motel Hell Vacation, which is kind of funny too.
God. Just keeps going.
Just keeps going and going. There we go. So that's
going.
That's a fairly average true or false. I think that was just wasn't that amusing.
Well, I mean,
no fault of your own. Like just like
sorry,
there was not a lot of fuel in that one. That was my questions, I think.
All right. Well, should I do some badly explained plot lines?
Fucking hell. Okay, I hate this one. Go for it.
I got a bit of help from the internet.
That's cheating.
For these ones.
That's cheating.
I got a little help from the internet. Just for 2 of them.
Okay.
3 of them.
All right,
let's see how many you can get. Okay, the first one. 4 high school boys just want to get their dicks wet before college.
American Pie.
Yes. All right. A high school girl who gives major emo vibes has to decide if she wants to hump a glorified dog or a dead guy.
Dog or dead guy. Emo vibes. Fuck. Is this a newish or oldish?
2008.
Oh. Oh, I hate this.
Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah.
A high school girl who gives major emo vibes has to decide if she wants to hump a glorified dog or a dead guy.
No.
No? Twilight.
Fuck. She never gave off emo vibes to me, so that's why my brain didn't go there.
She was very emotional. Did you ever read the books?
No, of course I didn't read the books, but I've seen the movie and she's not emo in the movie.
She is highly emotional. I didn't mean emo as in the aesthetic. I meant as in she's just an emotional being.
That's what emo is.
I said emo vibes. Did you listen?
All right, carry on. Fucking hell. You lead me astray on these.
All right. Leonardo DiCaprio wanders a frozen wasteland in search of an Oscar.
Well, that'd be Titanic.
Revenant.
Could be either.
Well, he doesn't wander a frozen wasteland in Titanic.
How do you know what he did or didn't do under that water?
That's true. I'm so sorry. I take it back. I got a little bit of help from the internet for that one.
Well, I mean, the next Avatar is all subaquatic, isn't it? So, James Cameron's very much into Ghosts of the Abyss and all this underwater stuff. So there is a whole Jack story to be told beneath the surface.
What if Jack became like, oh no, it's on a different planet, isn't it?
Like a Na'vi?
Let's just move.
Well, you go blue when you're frozen in the water. You turn blue.
I'm blue, da-da-dee-da-da-da, if I was green, I would die. A family's first Airbnb experience goes very wrong.
Family's first Airbnb experience goes very wrong. That could be Airbnb though. Fucking hell. I initially went to like something like Neighbours or Bad Neighbours or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it like that? Oh no, not Risky Business. Is it actually the Airbnb?
No. The Shining.
That is a bad movie description because it's not even. Have you've never seen it, have you?
I have seen The Shining. Thank you very much.
That's not an Airbnb or even like remotely like one. That's
They
a
rent
job.
the house.
No, they don't. No, he's assigned a job to do. He's the caretaker.
They move in there.
I hope the internet didn't help you with that one.
That one my own. Hey. All right, last one. A man-child learns to become an adult.
Oh, it could be many. Is it Billy Madison?
Every Adam Sandler movie ever.
Can I just say that you're funny naturally. You don't need to try to be funny.
Oh, so you're saying when I try, I'm less funny?
No, that was a lame one, but I say that with affection.
That was so funny, and I'm offended.
Good. Will that one end up on TikTok?
Who knows?
All right, we're out of time, but should we do one more? Your choice.
That's all mine.
Yeah, but should we do one more as in me do another game of some sort with you? Your audio dropped out then. I don't know why.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And yet you whisper and it works. So weird. All right. What do you want? Movie opposites, trivia questions. Would you rather
shoot us a trivia?
A trivia question. Okie dokie. Which one do you want? Okay. So last week, Jennifer Lawrence revealed the one movie that she regrets making. What was it?
It was Joy. Was it Joy?
No, she's very proud of that one.
Not the Sparrow.
No. Maybe Red
I
Sparrow. Passengers.
Red Sparrow, yeah. Really?
I enjoyed that one.
So did I.
Yeah, it's got that big bubble. That big bubble.
What big bubble?
The big bubble that she gets trapped in. Remember, she's swimming in the pool and the gravity
Oh,
thing